Hey guys, welcome to the 13th episode of HashtagTV. Ayun guys, so happy Easter po. He is risen talaga. So I feel really blessed na it is already, I guess, he is already reborn, and I guess na sobrang blessed na natin na we are still here, okay? And then we are still kicking and alive and kicking, definitely. So ayun guys, so let me bring our co-hosts for tonight. So andito po ngayon si Sir Mark Lagaza and si Sir Rene de la Cruz. By popular demand na naman po si Sir Rene de la Cruz dahil cute daw po siya. Hello po! Hello po, Sir Rene? Ayun, wala pa po ata. Ayun, si Sir Rene. Hello po!
Hi. Oy, good
Hello
evening sa
po.
inyo.
how
Okay na,
how is your
naririnig niyo na
Easter
ako?
naman po? Yes po, Sir Rene. How is your Easter
Oo,
naman po?
eh, okay naman, masaya. At, thank you Lord at yun nga, ang ano natin is nabuhay na si Lord ulit ng
Totoo.
yun lang ipagpapasalamat natin na despite na marami tayong nagiging hinaharap ng mga issues right now, hindi niya tayo pinababayaan sa pang-araw-araw natin.
Totoo po, Sir Rene. So, may anything special po ba kayong ginawa for Easter?
Easter, wala. Ang pinakaano lang natin is prayer. Talagang
Mm.
focus lang tayo sa pagdarasal. Kaya nga ang ano natin is yung mga bagay may mga kanya-kanyang time yan. Pero pag panahon ng Easter, talagang ang dapat lang natin gawin magpasalamat na nandyan si Lord kasama natin.
Totoo. Sir Mark, kayo po, did you and your family do anything fun for Easter?
Watch movies, and spend whatever quality time. Although I've been working almost 24/7. Well, not really 24/7. Still get my 7-8 hour rest, but it's been a pretty busy week, a busy time. Unfortunately, from.
I've seen, sir, na nag-post si Ma'am Jen ng nag-celebrate yung mga kids ng how they celebrated Easter was to parang paint eggs.
Yes.
Egg painting sila. Nakita mo ba yun, Sir Rene?
Actually, that's it's a family tradition.
Family tradition.
It goes back to my dad that he did to me, and that's something that I'm also having my kids do as well.
I see. So, ganun talaga when you were growing up, sir? Na as in like you guys were parang painting eggs. And then may pa-contest din po ba? Paano po yun nangyayari, sir?
Well, venue was kung anong itlog makita mo, sa'yo na yan.
Kung anong itlog makita mo, sa'yo na yan. Parang tuwang-tuwa ata si Sir Rene dyan Parang
Siyempre, mahirap yata maghanap ng mga itlog, lalo ng mga panahon na to. Pero
naghahanap
dahil
ka
nga
din,
merong hindi, lahat ng mga itlog namin nasa ref Kaya mabilis hanapin Ayun ang ano natin Kaya ang ano lang, hindi ko lang alam paano gawin nila Mark, yung paano yung so talagang nag-spend ng time para itago pa yung mga itlog,
It's my better half. Siya yung nagtatago ng itlog.
Mga eggs. Oo.
And then
Si Ma'am Jen.
Yeah, we try to be as creative that alam mo, being stuck now in the house for buti na lang yung bahay opisina rin, so at least walang stop sa trabaho, but in terms of boredom, in my case I don't get that bored, primarily because I got so much amount of work that I have to do and that I have to keep up with. But of course, I have my wife who's not used to being here all the time kasi meron din silang sariling business. They have a canteen that they basically run as a family, and should be normally out Mondays to Saturdays, and should be doing her stuff. The kids, on the other hand, even though if they do home study, kahit paano, once a week, nakakalabas naman sila. And being stuck now for almost, well, it's not almost, a month na. month na tayo.
Yeah,
a month,
Quarantine.
talagang
Dito po
yan,
ata si Attorney Bayan. Ayun, yung my third favorite tatay. Hello po, Attorney Bayan. Happy
Ayun,
Easter
Hello,
po.
guys.
partner.
Oy, attorney, magandang hapon, magandang gabi sa iyo.
Oo.
Magandang gabi,
background mo dyan
Mahina internet daw makapasok kanina pa.
mukhang maganda yung
Actually
background
kasi
mo
ang
rin.
dami nagsisearch ganitong oras eh.
Tama.
Kumusta kayo?
Yeah, so as I was mentioning, we try to do things in a way to keep ourselves sane. And of course, if you don't, wala kang gagawin na medyo malilibang ka, talagang masisiraan ka ng bait. Kaya from my part naman, medyo nasisiraan na ako ng bait with regards to what we're right now working on with the ICT, the Bureau of Internet Communications and Technology Group, Information and Communications Technology Group, Top Hat, and pretty much all other groups. This is something na siguro my partners Rene and Attorney Bayan and the rest of the other team members are probably going to be excited in. It gives me such a bad migraine to build up an application like this, to be honest with you.
What kind of application?
Nagulat ako kasi sa mga postings ngayon, on the news sites, GMA News, ABS-CBN. As I've mentioned numerous times in our chat groups, in my postings, that by the end of the week, by midweek, we'll probably be hitting 5,000. It's actually happening now. They're actually, talking about it. And again, as I have mentioned time and time again, hindi ako masusurprise dito na magkikita tayo ng 10,000 bago matapos na naman ang sitwasyon na to. Yung ECQ, tama ba? Yung extended quarantine period. So I've been working on researching. Actually, I've put all my other projects on hold. I know my partners are not going to like this with regards to our e-learning and that kind of stuff. I've put about 30% focus on the e-learning side, and right now 70% of my time building up something that we're going to be discussing siguro later. Hopefully, if we have our guests coming on, then we can leave that at a later part. But kung wala pa yung guests natin, siguro we can initially talk about this.
Do you want me to play na po ba yung video that you sent me?
Yeah, please. Para at least yung natin, yung mga partners natin at yung mga nanonood, medyo malalaman nila kung ano yung natin, yung mga ginagawa natin para makatulong naman tayo.
Alright. So, mga partners, eto, yung app na dina-develop po ni Sir Mark. Ayun. Let us post it.
Maganda yan. Oo, maganda.
Play your part in fighting COVID-19 with just 2 simple steps. 1. Download Trace Together and help those around you to set it up. 2. Turn on your Bluetooth, and it is as simple as that. Get peace of mind for you and your family with community-driven contact tracing. Trace Together helps contact tracers notify you more quickly if you're close contact with a COVID-19 case, whether or not you know the person. But how does it work? Trace Together uses Bluetooth signals to determine when your phone is near another phone that also has the app installed. Both phones exchange anonymized IDs, which are then stored in encrypted form only on your phone. If a user gets infected with COVID-19, he or she will be asked to give contact tracers access to the Trace Together data, a list of anonymized IDs that your phone has been close to. And that's really it. No geolocation or other personal data is collected. The anonymized IDs will help contact tracers quickly identify and contact people at high risk of infection to provide care and prevent the spread of the disease. Take this time to 1. Download Trace Together and help those around you to set it up. And 2. Turn on your Bluetooth. The more people on board Trace Together, the faster we can combat COVID-19.
Ayun guys, so
Perfect
yun
yun,
po yung app na na-develop ni Sir Mark.
Actually, I'd like to clear it out. I did not develop this application. This is an open source application that was successfully deployed in Singapore. Given that it is an open source by let me just get the correct details and the names. Basically, there's a backend tool for this particular technology that's being used in Singapore that we could try probably to to implement here. Unfortunately, at the current stage in time, there are no immediate solutions that we could use to help locally. This is one way of applying technology to help people. Now, one of the biggest concerns for when implementing a tool like this is ensuring and making sure that we do not break Republic Act 173, which is the data privacy law.
Yeah.
So we can't necessarily speaking post online yung location, yung dalaw ng bawat tao. But napakahalaga yung ganitong klaseng utility na to or application na to para makita na natin, especially yung mga frontliners na nakapag-identify yung mga nagiging COVID positive, kung sino yung mga tao na nalapitan nila o nakasama nila. You know, let's say for example, we were to ask friends and people that are actively going back and forth outside, especially in areas na medyo exposed sa COVID, guaranteed they would not know who they interacted with, who sino yung napitan nila and the works. And do take note that COVID has already been identified as airborne. So it's between a range of 2 meters to 3 meters. So this is even more serious than what press used to advertise. Now, with technologies such as Bluetooth, it will allow you using this kind of application, which hopefully we'll be able to deploy soon. We're trying to coordinate with the developers both in Singapore and at least the development team in Singapore and in the US for a different kind of platform. We'll talk about that siguro at a later stage once we have a bit more clarity. To be able to, deploy that one locally. I'm hoping, and I'm shouting out to all possible developers that the hashtag is reaching out to. If they can be involved in this project, it would be a very big help because at this stage in time, unfortunately, I'm the only one doing this. And I'm hoping that we could encourage more people to do this. Total, sa bahay naman kayo. Sana naman makagawa naman tayo ng activity that would be proactive to the nation. Hindi yung panay nagkukumwari tayo na productive tayo sa bahay na wala naman tayo nagagawa.
Tama.
Otherwise, this problem is just gonna increase. So if people want to be a hero and save lives, come up with these kinds of solutions. Don't come up with fake solutions.
Yes.
Totoo. Anyway, guys, I think our guest is here na po. Sir Rafi Chico is here na po. So let me just put him into the stream. Hello po, Sir Rafi.
Hi.
Hi, Sir Rafi. Good
Sir
evening po.
Rafi, magandang gabi po sa'yo.
Good evening. Good evening to all. Again, Sir Rafi.
Wonderful. Sir
Kamusta
Rafi,
naman po
kayo
kayo,
naman
Sir
ang
Rafi?
ngayon ang naging guest namin.
Yeah, it's I am used to Zoom, but this is a new technology. It's a StreamYard.com.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So how's the mileage of this video streaming?
Well, Shane, would you like to expand on that in terms of how strong our views are on a daily basis and how many people basically we reach out to?
How many views we have on a daily basis? It ranges from 400 to 1,400 per episode. And then,
Yeah.
and then,
Mhm.
hindi naman, wala po siyang lag or we have very minimal lang po na problems with this software po. Ayun. Tapos, I guess, kaya po nating sabay-sabay na mag-stream with 6 people.
Oh, that's nice, actually. Because nowadays talagang nauuso ngayon yung mga ganitong klaseng because of
Yes, sir. Yes,
social
sir.
distancing.
Social distancing. Iba na po talaga yung ito sa norm natin, Sir Rafi, di ba?
Yes, yeah. This is we're creating a new culture in the future, right after COVID. Actually, I am expecting that there is a new culture in the Philippines.
New culture.
Yes, new culture. Yes, because alam mo, mababago na yung kultura natin. People will become health conscious,
Tama, sir.
sanitation and hygiene conscious, and maybe social distancing actually will also be part of the culture of the Filipinos when it comes to social gathering and everything. Kung tatingin mo medyo alanganin ka rin sa tao.
Tama yan, sir.
We're creating a new culture actually. There's something ika nga babaguhin tayo nitong COVID na to.
Totoo.
Kasi nasanay na yung people actually may be able to like staying at home, and at the same time we're gonna miss their loved ones. No, kasi dati wala tayong panahon talaga di ba? At tayo pasok lang sa trabaho, pagkatapos nun sa gabi magkikita-kita si ate, si kuya, si nanay, si tatay. Then after that, the following day na naman. And sometimes your mom and dad will ask you, have you taken your dinner already? Let's take our
Tama,
dinner.
sir.
Sasabihin mo na lang, no, it's okay. I have already taken my dinner. I'm tired and I want to sleep. Ganun
Totoo.
Pero
Kaya
now,
nga, sir.
we're developing a new culture, a family values that will stick together and dine together and even pray together.
Correct, sir. I
That's
agree.
one thing, because churches actually are closed and they are not allowed to
Naman, sir.
really
Kaya lang, sir,
have their services. Yeah.
yes, sir. Sir, may question lang ako dyan regarding sa new normal natin. Ito na nga yung new normal
yeah.
na ang mangyayari despite na, so ibig sabihin, anytime, every time, pwede na tayo mag-usap, pwede na, as in literally, the comfort of our homes, di ba?
Yes.
Kaya lang, is it the same na nagtatrabaho tayo na ganito pa rin, na naka-video streaming? Anong tingin nyo, sir, sa ganito?
I think in the future, or right after COVID, because we are used to telecommuting already, baka mag-increase yung tinatawag na home-based work. Kasi it's an experimental and companies are trying to make their companies still productive and progressive, coping up to the deterrent itong COVID na to. So baka mamaya maging culture din yan. At companies or may be able to realize pwede naman pala itong empleyado ko 3 days 2 days lang nandito sa opisina, 3 days nasa bahay.
Totoo.
Correct.
And then we will be able to reduce our traffic congestion.
Actually.
Actually nga, Sir Rafi, this is a very good, test bed in regards to how companies may be able to adapt with regard to the work from home situation. Kasi sa mga kilala ko at sa mga nakapost ko mga kumpanya, normally they would usually want me to personally be at the office and do whatever consulting they have to do for them. Now we're basically doing everything online. And even on their part, they're slowly, adapting this kind of solution. And sa totoo lang, kung naghahanap na naman tayo ng solusyon sa traffic dito sa Metro Manila,
Yes.
ito talaga ay isang bagay na talagang makakapag-solve. Bukod sa pollution, mababawasan natin dito, people get to spend more time with their families, get to spend more time doing what they have to do, na hindi naman sila nag-aaksaya ng oras, ng 2-3 oras sa bawat direksyon pag umuuwi at pumapasok. And of course, you know, it is it's a lot more positive in these kinds of methods compared to the traditional papasok sa opisina.
Kaya nga sabi ko nga, we will be creating a new culture after COVID. Kasi mababago yung kultura natin eh. Kasi people tend to, before, people tend to ignore hygiene, sanitation, hand washing,
Yes,
and
tama yan.
limitation of physical intervention, something like that. So people may be cautious now after that. At baka nga after COVID, yung mga tao talaga tuloy ng face mask eh.
Yun nga, sir. Yun nga. Hindi na
I wonder may
mawawala
hoarding
yan.
pa rin po ba ngayon? May mga hoarding pa rin po ba ngayon? Or parang naglasa na?
I think it's not only our problem; it's the world actually problem of supplies. And definitely dito sa ganitong klaseng mga disaster and crisis, then definitely may kikita riyan. Merong mga kangay na yung mga opportunists. Pero yung iba naman, they can really produce. Hindi kasi tayo handa eh. Even the world actually is not really prepared in this kind of crisis, ano? That's the reason why, kasi kung magninegosyo ka, siyempre, definitely, you just have to produce an inventory that is conservative of the market. It has to be based on market demand. So why will you produce so much face mask when it is not that have a great demand? So now that there is a great demand, the world actually was surprised, and we are not really ready for that. There is now a scarcity of supplies. So I don't think some are hoarding, but the supplies really kulang na talaga, nagkulang kasi hindi nga naging handa eh, hindi naging prepare. And dati alam mo sa mercury drug at saka sa ibang mga pharmaceutical camp, pag pumunta ka, ini-ignore mo yung yung face mask eh. Wala kang bumibili ng face mask.
Oo nga, sir. Tama yun. Wala. Yun.
So, siyempre, kung ikaw yung supplier or retail store, why will you stock so much inventory of that kung wala naman demand? Yung kaya ngayon nagkakaubusan tayo at nahihirapan tayo ngayon to really get a good quality of supplies. Naging creative na lang yung mga locals natin that they're doing DIY sila. Do it yours.
May baka Sir Rafi, yung face mask nila, mga pang Power Ranger, gano'n. May mga Facebook.
Creative. Even the PPE, actually, people became creative.
Actually.
PPE.
May mga fashion design.
Personal protective equipment.
Yes, sir. Tama.
Yeah, so
May question lang ako. May question lang ako, sir.
I have a
ko dyan
question
is, bakit...
to Sir Rafi, no?
Sige, Atty.
Kasi we were briefed earlier that you're heavily involved in the tourism industry.
Oh, yes.
Can you? Yeah. Then my question is, how do you think this you were saying earlier that there will be a new normal or new culture for the Philippines. How will this basically affect the tourism industry? Considering when you say tourism, there must be physical presence kasi yun ang meet ng hanap buhay sa tourism, di ba?
Yeah,
Tourists should be there to spend their money and move the economy through their use of their resources. So how do you think will this affect our tourism industry?
It's a very good question, actually. In fact, the number one much affected is really the tourism industry.
Correct.
Mm.
People forgot also the opportunity of not really totally knock down the hotels, especially the hotel sector, the accommodations, as well. Because if the hotel industry or the hotel owners or operators are would like really to come in as a gamble eh. Actually, gamble na nga yan dito ngayon, no? Kung tutuusin, I would like to to inform the public that there are about 24,836 hotel rooms reserved for uh, overseas foreign workers, quarantine, at saka yung mga business processing, outsourcing staff use, ginagamit na ngayon yung mga hotels eh. So, there are some hotels that are still locked down or complete shutdown sila. But there are some hotels that are still being used by the OFWs quarantine at saka yung mga BPO staff. In fact, I have known even 3-star hotels billeted yung mga guests. Aside from the mga guests na long-staying guests, sila ay hindi na talaga makaalis. And practically, bankers and top executives, consultants, BPO, and some, can I say Chinese Pogo, something like that. They still in some of the hotels actually staying. So the question I will go to the question directly. After COVID, attorney, you're asking what
Yes,
will
sir.
be the effect in the tourism. Of course, it is really very difficult to bounce back. It will take at least maybe 3 months and 6 months for us to be able to bounce back with the tourism sector. Why? Because number one, we should have a regular airline, that will really fly from inbound and outbound. So it's not that easy actually. Number two, most of the hotels actually, we really have to ready their hotels, disinfect their hotels, and make sure that all the guests are properly accommodated and that they will feel safe and secured also when they check in the hotel. Because most of the guests, actually, yung expected guests that will make a reservation, the first thing that they will ask is your hotel used by the COVID PUI or no longer PUI.
Yes,
It's no longer PUI now.
it will be a concern. Correct. Yeah.
That it's if I'm not mistaken, it's a suspect or probable suspect now. It's no longer PUI. So if you are a guest, the first thing that you should ask is your hotel was used as a quarantine hotel. Of course, if you are the guest, will you prefer to use another hotel that is not being used by the quarantine, or will you use it? That's why I said a while ago, it's a gamble on some of the hotels because there are about 24,836 hotel rooms reserved for OFWs quarantine BPO staff use today. Actually, ang problema, those hotel operators that will accept them is also a gamble. Because after COVID, guests, yung mga arriving guests or some guests that will make a reservation may think twice of staying in your hotel because they want to make sure that your hotel is fully disinfected. Di ba? Kaya nga sabi ko, it's not that easy to bounce back in the tourism industry because I am projecting that it will take about 6 months before we will be able to normalize the flow of the tourism industry in our country. However, tourism for me is the prime mover to economic growth, and we really need to support tourism. Except otherwise, if we will strengthen our domestic tourism, so definitely they can easily bounce back because some foreign guests may be very conservative to stay with us for the meantime, no, because they want to observe that everything is normal, that there is no more threat in our country. That is why I am thinking that after 6 months, the Department of Tourism will pursue the domestic tourism also, because alam mo tayo, ano na tayo eh, parang mas komportable tayo right after COVID. I'm expecting na some Filipinos would like to enjoy our very own destination, no? Instead of going out of the country. Hindi pa tayo sigurado eh. So
Yes.
we have the hunger, no, to really enjoy our very own destination. So napakaganda. Actually, yun ang nakikita ko, no, na slowly but surely, step by step yan, no, we will be able to first have the hunger to travel in our own country rather than to travel out of the country because we are not sure yet. Kasi bilateral yan. Yung mga guests, mga foreigners, actually they are not sure also of coming in fully in the Philippines. And the same, tayo rin, we're not sure.
Yeah.
Kaya dito muna tayo, 6 months, then later on, slowly but surely, we will be able to bounce back our tourism industry.
Tama.
So Rafi, other than traveling locally, how else can the people help yung tourism here in the Philippines?
I beg your pardon?
Other than, for example, other than local traveling po, how can other people also parang support the tourism here in the Philippines?
Okay. Tourism industry actually, that's why I said tourism industry is the prime mover to economic growth. Because ang tourism kasi may cluster effect na tinatawag. It means that there is a chain reaction. If tourism is talagang fully supported by our government to promote tourism in the Philippines, there are about 7,000, if I'm not mistaken, 164 islands in the Philippines, and we just only have 2 seasons, summer and rainy season. Okay? So ang kagandahan kasi sa bansa natin, in different regions, we have different weather. Kung tagulan sa Luzon, baka sa Visayas, hindi. O di kaya sa other region, hindi. Di ba? So it means that paano masusuportahan yung tourism? You mean?
Yes
Kasi,
po.
ayun nga, may cluster effect kasi, kaya napakaganda kasi ng turismo eh. Pag turismo ang sinuportahan natin, from airlines, pagdating ng isang turista, sasalubungin yan ng transport. So, that's a transport sector naman. So, may chain effect yan. Pag ang transportation, i-deliver niya yung guest sa hotel or any accommodation. Kasi nowadays, actually, even yung cottage hotel, ang tawag na tinatawag na cottage hotel, yung mga bahay, yung mga nauuso na rin yan. So, may income sa airline, may income sa transportation, may income sa accommodation, food and beverage, of course.
Yes.
When you stay in hotel, you will definitely eat and dine and drink, no? So, yung allied suppliers ng mga ganitong klaseng kikita rin yan. Okay? So, aside from that, there is what we call travel and tour.
Mm-hmm.
So, yung mga travel and tour operators, then definitely will earn income also. At may entertainment naman tayo, di ba? Ang turista kasi, they are fond of to entertain themselves. Meron tayong culinary, actually. We have the best culinary in the world, but unfortunately, we don't have yet the identity of Filipino in the foreign countries. Unlike Thailand, Vietnam, Japan, I mean, alam mo sila nakaka-develop sila ng talagang cuisine nila eh. No? Ako, I am dreaming of having our very own authentic na talagang pag sinabi, Filipino cuisine yan. Yung kasi chop suey tayo eh. No?
Actually,
Alam mo
Wala
sa
pa
atin,
ba, sir?
adobo.
Sir, wala pa ba tayo ganun ng sarili natin?
Hindi, kasi hindi tayo makapag-develop ng kamukha ng mga Vietnam, Thailand, Chinese cuisine. No? Anywhere in the world, you find this this cuisine. Di ba? But Filipino cuisine, very seldom.
totoo.
Yeah, hindi tayo
Kasi
makapag-establish
napagkakamalan nilang very unique yung atin. Sasabihin nila, exotic. Dahil masasarap sa
Exotic.
Pilipino. Diba?
Exotic. Correct.
Yeah, I have another
Tama.
question, no? If to Sir
Yeah.
Rafi. Kasi yung
Yeah,
statistically speaking, no, ang ating tourism, the income from tourism comes from the foreign tourists and the domestic local tourists. Now, having this situation right now, and you were saying earlier that we should look into the domestic market first. Mas madaling yun muna kasi dahil mas maging komportable yung mga tao nasa bansa nila. But the thing is, do you think percentage-wise, no? Mas malaki yung naipapasok ng pera galing sa mga foreign tourists as against the domestic tourists? Now, that being so, will it be enough to sustain the tourism industry in the meantime that we're having this situation na ayaw pa ng mga foreigners pumasok sa Pilipinas? What do you think about this?
On the other way around, actually, there are about, if I'm not mistaken, there are about 7 million Filipinos actually going out of the country, traveling out of the country. That's the statistic. Yeah. Baka hindi ko matandaan yung actual figure. So, pero yun ang ron eh. In fact, before COVID, there was already the Taal volcano eruption.
Yun nga.
And we are already promoting domestic tourism because of the Department of Tourism, the Department of Trade and Industry, yung Philippine Trade Training Center actually. Nagtawag sila ng tinatawag na forum, Bounce Back Tourism, Bounce Back Forum to support naman yung mga naapektuhan ng Taal volcano. And then, ang nakita ko riyan, isipin mo, ang lumalabas ang Pilipino ng mga 7 million Filipinos going out of the country every year. That's statistics. No? Assuming that 7 million Filipinos actually, wala akong rito calculator $150 per Filipino. $150 na lang. Computing mo. Kung magkano yun? Per Filipino.
$150 times 7 million.
How is that?
It's 1 trillion. Tama ba?
1 billion.
1 billion 50
Million.
It's
1
1
billion.
billion.
It's $1 billion. No?
That's a dollar, actually.
That's dollar, yeah.
You compare kasi ikaw, pag umalis ka rito, pumunta ka ng Hong Kong, pumunta ka ng ibang Asian countries, ang average spending is $150.
Maliit
Average
pa yun.
Maliit yun. Maliit. That's why I just estimated and computed that $150 na lang na lumabas ng bansa. Wag ka na lumabas ng bansa, dito mo gastusin.
Correct.
So, mas malaki pa rin yung income na makukuha ng bansa natin pagdating sa turismo. Generated from the domestic travelers. I would like to share the experience of Japan. Sometime 1980s ba yan o 90s, ano? There was a world crisis, economic crisis. The government issued a memorandum that no one shall be allowed to go out of the country for tourism purpose. And they promoted their own domestic tourism. Doon sumikat yung mga magagandang tourist spot ng Japan, and they were able to survive. Because tumaas yung gross domestic product nila, tumaas yung kumbaga sa sila mismo na benepisyohan. Tayo kasi, ano pa tayo huwag tayo maging dayuhan sa sariling bayan natin. In fact, sabi ko nga, millions of Filipinos are traveling out of the country. But the millions of Filipinos, instead of travel out of the country, you spend your money here in our country, and then explore the destination, the beautiful, marvelous, and amazing destination of the Philippines, then definitely I believe we will be able to bounce back and survive.
Pwede pala, no? Yung talagang local tourist lang natin, instead of their money going out, gamitin sa Pilipinas more than anything.
Yes, of course. Yeah, I believe in that. Huwag maging dayuhan sa sariling bayan. Yeah, kasi tayo pa nga tayo ng foreign. We don't even know the beauty, the wonder of other destination natin kasi sila nakapunta na, tayo hindi pa. So, what is my suggestion? If that will happen after COVID, I think we need also to support the travelers. So, the government, the Department of Tourism actually should promote kababayan package.
Yes.
Kasi ang problema kasi natin dito sa bansa natin, kaya ang mga Filipino nagta-travel out of the country, it is much expensive for us to go to Davao, Cebu, Bohol, rather than to go to Malaysia, Indonesia, Bali, and Hong Kong, and Macau. Kaya sabi ng iba, it's much expensive daw to travel locally than just to travel out of the country. So
we should make it affordable, no?
Let's have a second look of our packages. That's why I am recommending or suggesting that right after COVID, we immediately promote domestic tourism in our country, and all these stakeholders should work together on how to improve yung package that will be viable and reasonable prices na pwedeng Filipino package. Para naman yung mga sabik na nga mag-travel kasi na-confine ka, na-contain ka sa bahay. Sabik mag-travel would be able to avail that packages. That is realistic. Actually, that may happen. Let's say 1 year kababayan package. Let's support tourism, domestic tourism. Magmaganda yung sa sariling bayan for 1 year. Hotels will give at least 50% discount. Kasi and then the food and beverage should not be higher than 30% food cost, but just about 40% food cost. Beverage, the standard is 12% to 15% maybe. So you can eat only at 18% and 20% food cost. So what I'm trying to say actually is that there has to be a very promotional package that will fit dun sa budget ng Filipino so that Filipinos will not be able to go out of the country and spend their money outside of the country.
Correct.
Yun ang sa akin lang. Ha? At, I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
that
I agree with Sir
Yeah.
Rafi. Kasi yung mentality ng average Filipinos, no, including me, kahit yung majority diyan ng average, kung gagastos ka rin lang naman ng so much amount, tapos ganun din naman ang gagastos mo abroad, parang minsan mas maganda pakinggan yung mentality natin, ha, in general, ha. Abroad na lang tayo. Total, ganun din
Ganun din
naman.
ako, attorney,
Halos
ganun din ang
ganun.
mentality
Kaya
ko.
maganda yung
Ganun din.
nabanggit
Oo.
po ninyo na
Oo.
program para sa domestic tourism para mas maingganyo yung mga kababayan
Hindi,
natin.
tsaka mabubuhay yung mga ano natin dito, ang mga stakeholders. Kasi supportahan natin yung sariling stakeholders natin, our airline, domestic airlines, yung mga land transportation, no? Even yung mga cruise. I'm even dreaming of having a local cruise. Kasi ang Thailand, if they are able to have this kind of cruise, river cruise or ano, why not? Di ba?
Tama, maganda.
We have so many islands, di ba? Very professional and very hospitable tayo.
Sir Rafi, another question ako, no? Katulad niyan, ang mapunta naman tayo kay
Tama.
President Duterte right now. Meron siyang power to take over mga private corporations right now, di ba? Are you seeing na may possibility din na si President Duterte can take over mga hotels para i-house ang mga patients? Something like that?
Hindi, actually, it's now there is already a program. Kaya nga sabi ko, there are about 24,836 hotel rooms reserved already for OFWs, quarantine, at saka yung mga BPO staff use. Ang actually, when it's April 8, naglabas ng news ang Department of Tourism, Secretary Berna, di ba? Confirmed that as of April 7, 2020, the Department of Tourism actually has secured a total of 11,549 hotel rooms for the accommodation of homebound overseas Filipino workers who are required to undergo a 14-day quarantine upon their arrival to the country. Yun. So, if ikaw ang hotel operators, magse-second thought ka rin. Kasi babayaran naman hindi naman libre yan . There is a budget actually for that, accommodating. Kasi it's a risk on part of the hotel operators, but it's a gamble. At these trying times, what will you do? Diba? You will be able to also help your workers to have work. Hindi sila displaced. But they just have to follow the protocol of health and safety. Diba? Yun. Tapos meanwhile, yung business processing outsourced employees are currently billeted din at some 13,287 hotel rooms located dyan sa NCR. I will not just mention the names of the hotel. Okay? Itong mga BPO na to, presently, they're currently billeted at some 13,287 hotel rooms.
Okay.
Located yan sa Metro Manila. Based on the administrative order yan ng Administrative Order 2020-001B something issued by Secretary Puyat. Yun. Ang BPO employees actually fall under the category of other guests and parang ganon that may be accommodated in double occupancy rooms. Pwede sila Yun. So, yung I think Secretary Puyat actually is really rallying the support of the private sector itong dito sa initiative na to, no? The overwhelming show of support of the hotel sector to our government's call to make the rooms available to FWs should somehow ease their anxiety. Having to wait for another 2 weeks till they eventually reunite with their families, di ba? Ganun yun eh. At least, maayos yung tinitirahan nila. Kesa ilagay mo na sa basketball court. Di ba?
Tama.
So, maganda initiative niya, no? Secretary Puyat, I salute her for doing that. Tapos, dahil na ginawa na yan, nag-announce na mayroon ng ganyang klaseng programa ang Department of Tourism, then we can expect more rooms as the DOT continues to encourage our private partners to extend yung world-renowned Filipino hospitality to our kababayans. Di ba? Yun na nakikita ko yan eh.
Tama.
Kasi meron ng 209 hotels that participated to date. 160 of which are in Metro Manila, in which have accommodated some 5,289 OFWs who have arrived the past several days. Meron na. Ang dami na. Ayun, okay.
Maganda.
Tama yan.
Pero, yeah, when you come up with a program, sabi mo nga dapat total package, no? Kasi yung plane fares lang natin, yung accommodations, dapat it should be at a level that average Filipino could actually afford, no? Para mas marami ang makapasyal.
Hindi, ang sagot ng ano yun, ng government. Sagot ng government.
Because of the program. It's because of the program.
Our government actually budgeted for that.
Sir, may question ako, no?
Hindi yan kasama
sa
budget na pinasok for itong yung ano yan, bayanihan, hindi gano'n na. Yung bagong budget ng government.
Kasi quarantine yan eh.
So kasama yan?
Mandatory kasi yun eh. Pag dumating sa bansa natin, yung mga seafarers o yung mga overseas foreign workers, so i-quarantine sila. Libre yun.
Libre na.
Correct.
Speaking of tourism po, Sir Rafi, kayo po di ba, sir, you're also part of Turismo PH?
There you go. Yan.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I am
sir,
the chief operating officer.
Yung advertisement po here or yung video po that we found on Turismo PH.
Yeah, maganda yan kasi ang Turismo PH, ang services niyan, wala. Wala ba tayo?
Replay niyan.
Okay.
Yeah. Every moment count. No stone unturned. Visit cultural landmarks, go on thematic tours, meet a friend or two along the way. Each second should be an experience. We are Turismo, a van rental and tour operator in the Philippines. We'll get you to the best tourist spots with a whole package of culture, life, people, and fun.
Ayun.
There you go.
Yeah, great.
Parang van rental and car rental po yun?
That's the prime mover. It's a tour packages, it's a transport. Ang transport kasi ang prime mover, but it's not only limited to that. In fact, it's a diverse services that Turismo Philippines can offer. We believe that we will be the prime mover to promote different destinations because we believe the way to travel around the Philippines is by way of having a transport, gagamitin natin itong mga transport vehicle natin, hindi lang sa land, even ship, at saka yung airline actually. And another thing is that the services actually of Turismo Philippines is so very diverse.
Mhm.
Meron siyang reservation na rin ng accommodation at meron ding personalized butler, meron ding we're offering also personalized yung tour guide. Drivers are well trained, very professional. We even train them yung first aid training.
First
Yeah,
aid, wow.
yeah, because
Oh,
Hindi natin alam kasi
driver,
kung ano mangyayari during the travel.
you should know how to do the first aid when pag nagkaroon ng aksidente, at least alam mo kung ano ang una mong gagawin.
Tama.
So you can take good care of your passengers. Napakaganda. It's a very unique and diverse services that Turismo Philippines could offer.
Ano yan, sir? Parang ano yan? Parang Grab at saka mga ganon? Nag-apply sa inyo?
It's more focused. Grab is focused on a public utility vehicle. No? Okay? But Turismo Philippines is exclusively for tourists and travelers. Yeah. That's at saka sa mga top business expat o yung mga gustong mag-avail ng mga very professional transport services. So ito yung Turismo Philippines. At ang gandahan niyan, lahat ng mga driver meron silang ano ba yan? Tawag dito, iPad ba yan? Parang talagang may destination sila, lahat yan. Very professional.
Sir, parang ganito yan. If I have a van, pwede
So, parang
kong
mamamonitor yung
ipasok
kanilang
sa
kilos, no? Through the application.
Parang ipasok ko yan sa turismo, parang gano'n ang dating.
Yes. Pwede.
But
But
may requirements kayo.
you have to you have to follow the standard
The standards,
of services,
standard.
Hindi pwedeng any Tom, Dick, and Harry can just join, no? Ipapasok mo yung car mo o yung vehicle mo sa Turismo Philippines. You really have to undergo training. And the training is really gearing towards service excellence because we will not settle for mediocrity.
Okay, yeah.
That's one thing that we would like to offer to all the clients.
Yes, sir. Paano
So,
kung may sasakyan
Screening
lang?
talaga,
Wala akong driver.
screening. Wow, security rin, no?
Wala akong driver. May sasakyan lang ako. Pwede pa rin yun.
Oh yeah, pwede pa rin because there are some professional drivers that Turismo Philippines will train. It's an in-house drivers that we will train them. That's a very good service actually.
Totoo, kasi here on their website, binuksan ko po yung Baler Bay budget package. This is for 12 packs. Tapos nakalagay na dito yung may trip outline, may trip inclusions, may overview na siya. Kaya it's very detailed.
And there are regional hub actually, no? Hub from different regions. It's Turismo Philippines House. Kumbaga sa andun lahat yun. So there's no problem if you need other services. Napakaganda talaga kasi may mga hubs siya.
Is this already out na po ba, Sir Rafi?
Yes?
Out na yung app? Oh, okay.
Yes, it's an app. So, yeah. The app is really very excellent actually.
Nakakailang buwan na, sir, ang turismo?
This Turismo application, is it private or government backed?
It's a private actually. It's private yan, but we really work hand on hand with the Department of Tourism regarding the rationale and the goal of this Turismo Philippines.
So
kasi
when you get that app,
we promote the destinations.
What I'm trying to say is, just like Grab, no, application. Kung mag-apply ako dyan,
similarity but more personalized services.
Okay, okay.
Mm.
But do we have to have some sort of a credit to be able to use that application? I mean, when it comes to paying charges.
Oo nga po, paano po pala yung payment dito, Sir Rafi?
Ah,
In fact, it's Mr. Michael Herrera who would really
Mm-mm.
explain that much. I'm not that so
Okay, okay.
techy, no? Pagdating doon sa mga technicality ng apps.
Yeah. But the good thing about this already this application, no?
Yes,
Mm-mm.
yes.
Para available yun, maganda.
It just so happen na kasi 6 months yan eh. Biglang
Mm.
nag-lockdown eh. We are supposed to really launch officially lahat ng mga services. Yon at nagkataon lang na kasi the application is already ready.
Inabot. Inabot.
Inabot eh.
Marami talagang nadali sa
Inabot lang.
lockdown na to,
Talaga
sir.
ito si COVID, maraming kino-COVID eh.
Pero
Ah.
this might be a blessing in disguise, no? Kasi timely siya
Totoo.
na
Time is
pagkatapos
Oo.
nitong COVID nito, baka tamang-tama yung pasok niyan.
Oh yes, I'm sure. Kasi Filipinos have the hunger of traveling.
Yeah.
True.
Yun ang
Katid-katid
nakikita
na.
ko.
Agree ako dun
That's
sa
right.
sinabi mo, sir, ha? Yung sinabi mo na pag ang mga
Yes.
Pilipino natapos ang COVID, gutom na gutom yan na
Maganda.
mamasyal agad.
Masyal mag-travel.
Oo, gustong-gusto niya. Siyempre, takot muna sa abroad kasi takot yung mga nababalitaan nila. Marami rin issue
Of
ng
course.
COVID sa abroad eh.
Even
So,
me.
enjoy muna yung natin, no? Enjoy muna
Iba-
yung Philippines.
Before COVID, we have already, our group, we have a tour package in Macau, China eh. Hindi
Mm.
pupunta doon. Bayad na nga kami.
Wala mo.
So,
Sayang.
Wala muna yun.
kaya, pero anyway, magre-refund naman and I think we just have to rethink and baka dito muna tayo sa domestic tourism.
Totoo.
Tama yan, sir.
Marami namang
namang
magaganda
magsisimula.
sa
Parang magsisimula
Pilipinas.
muna tayo lahat eh. Lahat ng
Mm-mm.
businesses na frozen muna lahat. Tapos naka-freeze tayo. Pagtas ng COVID, start ulit. Jump start ulit.
Let's patronize our own if we want to bounce back.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, agree. Agree naman talaga, sir. Magandang yan.
Yeah.
Miss Shane.
We learned everything about this COVID eh. It's a learning method. Yung quarantine kasi, actually, I'm thinking that quarantine is not just on sa tao eh. Baka God is quarantining also ang earth eh.
Mm-mm.
Mhm.
Yung earth mismo, yung mundo. Teka muna, i-quarantine ko muna kayo, fasting kayo.
Fasting.
Kaya, quarantine pati yung mundo. Isipin mo, natitis yung pollution.
Mm-mm.
Di ba? Yung pinoproblema natin, traffic congestions. Bayan sa biyahe.
Mm-mm. Sir Rafi, when do you think is the best time to travel? Like, pag matapos pa yung enhanced community quarantine, after ilang weeks or months pa po?
That's why I said everybody will prepare. Right after COVID, lahat gustong, lalo na sa tourism, gusto nila ipakita that they are already ready. Mag-iinis yan, mag-disinfect yan, mag-prepare yan, mag-offer ng bagong culture yan. Ako, I think, because I'm a hotelier, for me, let's say, the first thing that I will do is to, of course, yung mga tao kasi, nagkaroon yan, emotional, psychological, and displacement sila, di ba? So, pagbalik nila, you really need to reorient them. Okay, it will take 1 month for you to position their mindset, no? Na at least kahit papano ay magkaroon ng tinatawag na presence of mind sa pagtatrabaho. Second, you have to prepare your facilities immaculately clean and safe. So you have to disinfect and sanitize. Kahit na wala pang pumuntang tao riyan, you really have to disinfect and sanitize everything. Di ba? So it will
Parang naghang.
Oo nga po eh.
You really
Parang
need to,
nagkakaroon.
to understand. And yung preparation mo kasi, it will take at least 1 month, 2 months, and 3 months. Oh? So, for you to be able to travel, sabi mo, siguro mga 3 months. Okay, 3 months to 6 months. Pwede na yan.
Totoo.
Hello?
Hinalag. Sir Rafi, on the lighter side, nasa Metro Manila ba kayo ngayon?
Humina.
Can't hear. Nasa Metro Manila ba kayo ngayon?
Joe?
Nasa Metro Manila po ba kayo ngayon, Sir Rafi?
Yeah, I'm in Quezon City actually.
Kumusta po ang ECQ diyan?
Ha?
Kumusta naman po
Kamusta po
ba
yung
ang
ECQ?
quarantine diyan?
I beg your pardon?
Yeah, kumusta yung quarantine? Kumusta ang quarantine diyan?
Kamusta
Kumusta
daw
po
po,
kayo
sir,
dyan sa
yung
quarantine?
quarantine po dyan, Sir Rafi?
Yes, I can hear you well. Humina kayo.
Kasi mahina yung internet eh. Nag-drop nga si Sir Rene kanina, nawala siya bigla.
Oo.
Humina yung internet.
May surge po kasi.
I was asking kung kumusta yung quarantine diyan sa lugar nyo. Naririnig ka, Shane?
Naririnig ko po kayo, attorney. Sir Rafi, kamusta naman po yung quarantine po dyan?
Medyo mahina eh. Ano yan?
Kamusta po, Sir Rafi, yung quarantine dyan?
Yung
Quarantine po.
Kumusta kayo dyan?
quarantine. Dito sa Quezon City. Alam mo, matigas ang ulo ng mga tao. Even in along Commonwealth, yung mga palengke riyan, lahat-lahat, mga if you will observe, they're not really observing social distancing eh. No?
Oo nga, nakikita sa social media, no?
Marami pa rin dapat talaga, strict natin yung home quarantine.
Sa family nyo po,
Tsaka
kayo po yung may quarantine
face
pass.
mask, wearing a face mask actually. You know, the reason why we should strictly implement wearing a face mask, it is not because you are afraid that you will get infected. Kasi lahat tayo suspected actually. Kasi may asymptomatic, may na hindi mo alam, meron ka. So, you need to wear your face mask anywhere you go. Ay kahit na malapit ka kahit sa bahay mo nga, kung tutusin pagka talagang kailangan, no? Because you try to protect other people to be infected because you are not sure of yourself. Lahat tayo, we're like, pwede tayong maka-infect, kaya lahat tayo dapat mag-wear ng face mask.
Totoo.
Humina na tayo, humina yung sound ha?
Oo nga po, Sir Rafi, can you hear me po?
What happened? Why the sound is not
The sound po kasi, Sir Rafi, kasi medyo surge po yung ganitong oras po for streaming. So there are a lot of people using the internet.
Ganun ba?
Oh, sir, ganitong oras po kasi syempre people are just parang waiting po yung bang nagpapaantok ba, sir? Mga ganitong oras.
Nagdi-dinner na. Siguro.
Ayun, hi, Sir Mark. Anyway,
I think we had a bit of a technicality with regards to the speed of connectivity. But we should be okay. Go ahead.
Well, wait. Maybe I will use my.
Okay po.
Maybe I will use my headphone, just a moment.
Anyway, we are also in Quezon City, Sir Rafi, and it's very true na medyo dumadami na kayong tao na nasa labas na actually parang normal day na nga, di ba, Sir Mark?
Yep.
Parang naging normal day na nga. When you look out the window, it looks like a normal day na kasi parang hindi na nga nag-observe ng parang social distancing yung mga cars. And as well as yung mga people, sometimes I even see people na hindi na nakakapagsuot ng masks.
Correct. Well, unfortunately, this is one of the problems where
It's loud and clear.
Ayun.
It's loud and clear.
Back with us. This is one of the problems I think we should. The longer kasi this problem, extends, people become more lax. And because of this lack of being lax, nakakalimutan nila kung gaano kalaki ang severity nitong COVID-19. And this is what our president has constantly been asking the public, na stay home, diba? Sayang naman kasi yung pinaghirapan ng karamihan ng mga tao na sa bahay lang tayo diba? Ngayon, kung ganito yung gagawin nila na makakalimutan nila yung protocol of safety laban dito sa COVID, sayang din naman na napaghirapan natin lahat. And this is not just one instance, two instances. A lot of people will have a tendency to break protocols. Unfortunately, kung sabihin natin, kung mabash man ako o hindi, this is unfortunately, the stubborn mentality of humans in general. And it's not just Filipinos, but kasi tinan nyo ang nangyari dun sa Italy, tinan nyo yung nangyari sa rest of the world. But we have to have the discipline to fight this. While I was offline a while ago, kasi I'm still working on the application that we're trying to do para nga dito na may bigay natin sa publiko at para sa gobyerno with regards to identifying people. There are a number of there's actually a news clip on the internet. I'll just try to share this link with you, Miss Shane.
Okay.
Which we could probably post on our stream right now. And we'd probably ask Sir Rafi about his insights relating to this. Kasi, we keep talking about it, it becomes viral, everybody's, COVID here, COVID there. And at the end of the day, parang, nakalimutan na natin, ano ba talaga tong silbi na to? Ano bang purpose ng itong lockdown na to? At sa totoo lang, araw-araw nakikita ko na yung traffic nagbi-build up na, may mga tao, lumalabas na. This is getting really out of hand, and I would not be surprised if the president would have to go a step further in terms of being drastic. Na, kailangan mo ng military and police intervention, which of course is not in any way a good feel and a good look, but discipline has to be imposed. Sometimes it has to be forced. Now, you see, this is one thing that just came up in the news. This was earlier this morning by GMA News. Patients who won't share COVID-19 info will be penalized. You see, this is where, unfortunately, it becomes sometimes difficult. Katulad nga yung app na dinidevelop natin, which we're trying to collaborate with the US and with Singapore. When we have an application that allows us to be able to identify sino yung mga tao na nalapitan natin o we had possible, contact with, we leave it now to the application to be able to provide the necessary information. Now, these are the types of solutions using technology that our government should impose. We should not be wasting time looking at the numbers. Kasi majority of the things that I see right now on social media is we got so many numbers coming up. As I said, almost hitting 5,000. But it doesn't show ano ba yung area affected the most. Of the 5,000, sino ba? Saan sila? Diba? Is it only NCR? Is it Cavite? Is it where? Where are these people? Diba? Second thing is, how do we know we did not interact with these people? Especially pag namimili tayo, hindi naman pwedeng sabihin natin na nakakulong tayo sa bahay. At habang nakakulong tayo sa bahay, dito, hindi tayo mag-shopping, hindi tayo lalabas, hindi tayo mag-grocery, diba? So, there's still the risk. We cannot eliminate the risk. There's still that, we're trying to mitigate the risk, but we cannot eliminate it. So, with application, with technologies like these, it would allow us to be able to at least help the frontliners, the medical groups, to identify sino ba yung naging interaction mo, sino yung kung sabihin natin nagkataon na napuntahan mo, nalapitan mo, especially if you're a COVID-19 patient. But as I said, with the traffic building up, it's a sign of people now are forgetting their own due responsibility, and that's I'd say very, very scary. Hindi matatapos to.
Yeah, I'm sure. Kasi ang dapat gayahin natin ang ginawa ng China. They were able to contain and immediately. Ngayon sila, nag-open na sila ng mga travel and they're moving around the country. Kasi naging sila they strictly implemented home quarantine.
Correct.
At sa kanila kasi kapag if you disobey the home quarantine, inaaresto talaga. Inaaresto talaga. Kinukulong. Inaaresto. The police will arrest them if they are roaming around and not observing home quarantine. That's the reason why they were able to contain it and flatten the curve, immediately. Wuhan, tapos nagbukas na nga Beijing and Shanghai, so okay na sila. Mabilis ang containment nila. Samantala tayo kasi matigas ang ulo natin, tayo mga Pilipino. Tama ka, the traffic now is starting to there are so many cars, ang dami. In fact, dito lang sa one time, right after the announcement of the extension, I was surprised. Yung linya ng sasakyan magmula ron sa Sabarte, Caloocan at Quezon City, 1 kilometro ang layo. Inabot yun. Traffic. Yeah. Because the checkpoint actually, sabi ko nga, it goes back to original na talagang traffic. Ayun. Syempre nakaka-contribute yung checkpoint, but it should not be 1 kilometer almost. Na ganun na kalayo yun. Sobra na, kumbaga sa it's ang ibig sabihin, lumabas yung mga tao and they buy yung kanilang mga supplies because of the announcement of the extension. Ang problema, okay naman sana. Pero yung social distancing dito sa mga talipapa, yung mga wet markets, lahat yan, hindi yan na hindi siya na-observe . In fact, bumiyahe ka nga dito sa Commonwealth . Yung market dyan, lahat yan, talaga makikita mo talaga, parang langgam yan. Namimili yung mga tao, tabi-tabi yung mga yan. Pero of course, one thing that I observed, medyo they are now really observing yung wearing of face mask. But unfortunately, hindi naman lahat ng face mask na sinusuot ay nakaka-bar o nakakaharang ng ng virus. Siyempre, at still ang objective nga ng wearing of face mask is not really for you to be infected, but for you to infect others also. Because asymptomatic you don't even know that you are already COVID suspect.
Correct.
Kaya let's have the habit of wearing face mask wherever we go.
Pero
Diba?
Sir Rafi, bilib ako sa iyo ha. Kasi itong quarantine na to, kita si Sir Mark tsaka ako, hindi na may spilling yung haba ng buhok namin. Ikaw, planchadong-planchado. Bagong tasa, sir. Bagong tasa. Bagong tasa.
Meron ako private
Yeah.
tawag dito service, home service.
Wow.
Nag-home service ako Yung barbero ko.
Paano yung paggupit na may social distancing?
Wala. Makakalbo ka nun. Hindi. Bago ko pinagupit sa akin, dinisimpek muna sa ng gusto. Yan.
Sigurado mo ha?
Oo, sigurado. Tapos naka-face mask. Naka-guantes. Guantes yan, face mask yan. So yun, gano'n. That's what I did. Frontliner, yes. Kailangan talaga yan Ako kasi I am free to travel to roam around and travel because I have an IATF ID access.
Okay.
Yesterday, if you check my Facebook, I was in Antipolo checkpoint because I brought Marcos Highway, yeah. I brought 50 pack meals and drinks and soft drinks dun sa mga frontliners doon. Kasi in my little ways, I have to do it So I feel relieved, I think I did something for the frontliners in my little ways. Okay. And kaya ako sila dinalan instead na magdala ako rito kasi I am also traveling there. And I observe napakagagaling nitong mga taga Antipolo at saka Cainta ng mga frontliners ng mga checkpoint PNP.
Why is that? Nawala.
Hello po.
Naghang.
They will greet you. Sabi sa mga not because of me kasi nakita ko nakikita ko sila kung paano sila mag-approach na good afternoon sila, magandang hapon po, paki-check lang po yung saan po kayo. Tapos pag na sabihin pa sa'yo, okay, ingat po kayo.
Nawala
si Sir Rafi.
Nainggit ako sa buhok
Nainggit po kayo.
Oo nga, daya.
Bagong tasa.
Pag-home service But ayun, this is itong post na to habang inantay natin si Sir Rafi mag-join. This is I think posted today. Aminado na rin naman ng aminado rin ng
member
DOH
pala siya ng
COVID
Interagency Task Force.
I think he is that's what he
No,
mentioned.
sir. Sabi niya, what he mentioned earlier was that they were giving out relief goods from his program from Happy, from DZMM.
Kaya meron siyang ID.
Okay.
Mahiwagang magical ID niya.
But alam mo,
pero
medyo
yung article na nakapost dyan sa gitna, it's about yung possibility of extending it until January 2021. Maganda natin, no? Siguro maganda one of these days invite somebody from the Interagency Task Force.
Totoo.
This is something that's a little scary sa totoo lang kasi sa totoo attorney, given the current circumstance, kung katulad niyan, napapansin din ni Sir Rafi, napapansin din ng iba pang mga tropa, parang hindi ako marinig.
Yun nga po.
Hello? Can you hear me? Hello?
Hello, sir.
The host has unmuted. Hello? Sino?
Attorney. Nakakatuwa talaga pag mag-online tayo, no? The internet can bring out the funniest situations talaga, attorney. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Nawawala eh. No, yung guest natin, nawala. Nawala yung guest
Totoo.
natin.
Hindi ko na po talaga alam yung turning ko. Kasi here in the Philippines, it's just so funny. Kasi di ba, yung complaint natin, even before pa, kahit mga 2000, early 2000s pa lang, na early 2000s pa lang, yung reklamo natin is the slow internet connection. Now it's 2020, yung reklamo natin, slow internet connection pa rin.
Palagay ko, tuloy-tuloy yan hanggang mag 5G na yan.
Mag-ano po?
It's because of the facilities eh. Kasi 4G, 3G, 4G, 5G. Hanggat hindi maayos ang infrastructure natin, tuloy-tuloy ang reklamo natin.
Totoo. Pero ito, turn itong, how do I say this? Itong article na to, it says, Philippine COVID-19 problem may last until January 2021 if no intervention will be done by DOH. Have you read this one, Tony?
I haven't read that one yet. Pero kung babasahin mo naman kasi conditional yan eh, if there's no intervention, no? Pangalawa, it only says about the COVID-19 problem, doesn't say there that there will be a continuous quarantine. So, pwedeng may problema pero modified siguro. Hindi naman napaka-strict siguro na quarantine pa rin para sa ginagawa natin ngayon. And again, there is no intervention.
Totoo. Sir Mark,
Yeah,
can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Ayun, finally.
Thank you. Ayun, so, medyo itong gabi na to, puro technical issues na naman tayo. But I guess it's because of the internet speed. But ayun nga, medyo concerning nga itong post na to, especially with regards to the COVID-19 problem. The possibility of DOH now openly saying, hindi na to behind doors, but openly admitting na baka umabot pa to hanggang next year. You see, this is the thing, you know, it would be cool, it would be good in a sense na pag alam mo COVID, yung ibig ko sabihin na tipong madali mo ma-identify eh. Ang problema kasi sa COVID, hindi mo alam eh. Diba? Kasi meron siyang roughly about 14 days na sa system mo, na pwede kang maging asymptomatic ka eh. And actually, in some cases then it's been proven na mas mahaba din ang period eh, ng pagiging isang asymptomatic eh. Could even go up to weeks for that matter. Depending kasi on the metabolism of the person eh. Kung medyo malakas ang katawan niya, talagang talagang mas mapapatagal yung simptomas lumabas. But that's the thing eh. In this kind of circumstance, if the lockdown doesn't help, what's going to help? You know? And remember, the fatalities are the elderly people. Mas prone sila na magkasakit eh. And in a situation like this, we really need to step up in terms of trying to look for better solutions in fixing this problem. If we don't find any solution within the next couple of weeks, it's parang hindi ko alam eh, whose hands will carry the blood of the fatalities na madadala nito. Now, tingnan natin ngayon yung stats ngayon ng DOH. Ilan na yung mga na-recover, ilan na yung mga nasan ba yung mga stats natin na the numbers right now indicating sorry, I'm not that familiar kasi with the
At saka other than that, I've read some reports, I don't know how reliable that is, that the virus is already mutating. Now if that happens, we're not looking at just one phase of it.
That is correct.
Kasi kung nag-mutate yan, even if we have something to address this present virus setup, no? After pag nag-mutate yan, iba na naman ang kalaban natin. So, kasama talaga yung dasal din. Wala tayong magagawa dyan eh.
Totoo. I'm gonna bring up the numbers po ng COVID. Yun.
Di ba, there are news coming in that in South Korea, yung nag-negative na, nag-positive uli ngayon.
Oo.
So,
Kasi they have
that's
a
really
weakened respiratory system na po eh. Kaya that's why parang they're even more prone para, how do I say this, para ma-infect din again. So that's why dapat extra careful talaga yung mga tao not to get infected again.
So ito yun, no? Tingnan yung
These are
numbers
the numbers.
natin dito. Look at the if you were to look at the numbers dito, pag sinabi kasi yung total number of cases, kasama na dito siguro yung death, kasama na yung recoveries. So pag tinotal kasi natin ang recoveries at death, yung mga positive cases would be about 4,500 or 4,400. So
4,400. Yeah.
Now, look at the death toll. Unfortunately, tama nga yung mga nagtitrending na mga sinasabi ng mga netizens we're literally going for gold sa ASEAN eh. Diba? Tayo ngayon ang number 1 na naman eh. Number 1 tayo ngayon for COVID patients eh. And given that we have the number 1 list in Asia, you know, I remember in the early days when COVID was still going out, pinagmamalaki ng ating gobyerno na napakakonti, napakaliit.
Yeah.
And then biglang boom. Kasi lumabas na yung ano natin eh, andyan yung mga test kits natin. Ngayon, ang katigasan kasi ng ulo ng ating mga mamayanan, lalabas-labas sila, wala tayong teknolohiya para i-trace sila.
Yeah.
Paano ngayon natin masasabi kung pag natapos tong lockdown na to, hindi siya mas lalong kakalat? Sa lockdown na nga lang eh, kumakalat na eh. Paano na kaya after yung lockdown? So I'm sure our numbers are going to increase drastically. I'm sure it's going to be a problem for us in general, and a lot of fatalities will be there. And again, the question is, who's to blame? You know, who's to blame on this particular score? You know, it's hard to point fingers.
Yeah.
But as I said earlier, we have to drastically come up with a solution, and not take this for granted.
Sir, kanina sa article na yun na no intervention will be done. What kind of intervention are they looking for ba? Like a vaccine? Like, do they expect the Philippines to invest in research right now and look for a vaccine?
If we have a first world country, you know, that would be great. You know, if the Philippines would be capable of pioneering in coming up with a solution for vaccine, but let's not try to be over optimistic. If we look at it with first world countries that have financial stability and capability, sila nga kung sila nahihirapan na magkaroon ng how do I say, abilidad para magkaroon ng vaccine. Paano naman ang ating bansa eh? I don't think we're in that particular criteria. It's not that I'm trying to belittle the technology that we have in the country, but unfortunately, because we're so focused in so many other problems, we don't have the financial capacity to be able to invest in these kinds of solutions, especially in providing a cure for COVID-19.
It's also a matter of having the right facilities for it. No?
Exactly. And we don't have that.
Kaya ng mga medical and scientists natin dito kung kulang ang equipments natin. So, how could we do it? Yeah.
You know, but that's what I'm saying. The only cure for this now, again, we let's base this on historical facts. COVID-19 is a form or a how do you say a mutated version of SARS. Okay, you see the problem is we sometimes get mixed up with the terms that we have it. We have to be aware that with regards to SARS, there was no cure found. With SARS-CoV-2, which is yung COVID-19, how sure are we that we're going to be able to get a vaccine for this when, in fact, SARS and, if I'm correct, the term MERS, which is in the Middle East, did not have any vaccines. So we're back again, to the chicken and egg situation. How do we solve this problem? Do we try to look for a vaccine? Will we have enough time to be able to get the vaccine to save the lives that are every day increasing in terms of death? Now, again, look at the numbers here. People belittle these numbers. They take the ratio kasi na recovery X percentage, death X percentage, napakababa yan dun sa total number of cases. But ito ang kailangan tingnan ng tao. Ilan ang nag-recover, ilan ang namatay. Huwag mo tingnan yung huwag na natin tingnan yung total number of cases na confirmed COVID cases. Ilan ang recovered, ilan ang patay. Mas mataas ang ratio ng namamatay kaysa sa mga gumagaling.
Totoo.
So, with those facts, diba? These numbers, kasi if we're going to talk about statistical numbers, napakababang ratio nito. It's less than 10% yung namamatay. But ang tanong ko lang dito is, 10% of what? 10% of the total number of people infected? Itaasan din nila ang statistics sa mga nag-recover. Diba? So if you put the statistics on the recovery, like for example here, we're talking about 4,932. Now, of the 4,932, 242 are the ones that recovered. But there are people still in that stage of recovering. They're not recovered yet. They're still in the stage of recovering. So, before you can start identifying ang nabuhay at yung namatay, diba? Tingnan natin ang stats ngayon dito. Ilan ang nabubuhay? Ilan ang namamatay? Mas marami ang patay kaysa sa buhay. And nobody really takes it into account. They try to soften the story up and say, okay, we got 4,900 or we got 1 million people now suffering from COVID. Of the 1 million that are suffering from COVID, X percentage died. Yeah, but these people have not recovered yet. Hindi mo pa linilipat itong number na to doon sa recovered. So it's still a question of the possibility of them still dying. So if we're going to soften this story up, then we're lying to the public, and we shouldn't do that. Now, as I said, the question there is how soon. A lot of people said from animal testing to human testing, it takes months, and that was a couple of months ago. From human testing to identify what are the possible solutions prevailing to that one, it's still a question. Kaya nga, minsan tinitira si Donald Trump kasi there are certain medications in the market that people are trying to say, wag mong gamitin kasi it could have, like there's a medication from, if I recall correctly, malaria.
Yeah.
With regards to the malaria medication, diba, sasabihin nila, yung side effect, mabubulag ka. Sige, anong tanong dito? Meron na ba tayong gamot, alternative para dyan? Kung wala naman, anong gusto mong piliin? Isugal mong buhay mo na mamatay ka? O isusugal mo yung buhay mo na mabuhay ka, but mabubulag ka? Diba? We are in a state of, how do I say, global crisis because of this virus. And we have to face the facts. Again, as Sarafi correctly stated, Don, and the rest of the other people we have been talking to, and I'm sure Attorney also agrees, and everybody else I'm sure is agreeing to this. We have to maintain the discipline. Pag sinabi quarantine ka, doon ka na sa bahay, huwag ka na magsisilabas. But may mga, as I said, kung saan ako medyo naputol kanina, may instances ngayon, katulad sa Tagaytay, there was a certain individual that was identified as COVID positive, nakatakas siya sa quarantine zone or quarantine area niya. At ngayon is literally going everywhere around. They don't know where the person is. They're looking for the person, but they can't find the person.
Dapat yun yung tipong barilin on set.
Grabe.
Alam mo, sa totoo lang, excuse me, this is where literally shoot to kill would have to come into the picture. But you know, I don't want to. I don't want to sound very drastic. You know, that's a little going over top. But kung alam mo na may sakit ka, siguro naman konsensya mo naman na magdadala sa iyo dito na, uy, baka di oras may mahawa akong tao. Kung sabihin natin yung tao na mahahawa ko, hindi mamamatay, baka naman yung mga magulang niya. Kung sino man ang kasama niya sa bahay, pwedeng mamatay yan. Diba? Binabaliwala natin
Well, especially right now, no, in the next few days, tomorrow up to 3 days, 4 days, this week, coming week, mag-start na yung mass testing. So you would expect a drastic climb of those that have COVID positive.
That's for sure.
Confirmed.
That's for sure. Yeah.
Kasi bukas, several cities na mag-mass testing starting tomorrow. So medyo brace.
I actually noticed that nga there was a post, attorney, dito rin sa Quezon City. But again, the question there is, how do we go through the process of doing mass testing? Do we apply? When we apply ba? How long does it take for us? Kasi ang tanong dito is it only for people that are showing symptoms para sa mass testing na to? Or does it basically
from what
mean...
I read, Sir Mark, from what I've read, yung people who are prioritized for the mass testing are the frontliners, definitely. And then yung mga PUIs, yung mga people with, how do I say this?
History.
Travel history. And then yung mga PUM, na people under monitoring, yung mga people na nakahalubilo po, yung mga positive, mga nag-positive ng COVID. So sila po yung pina-prioritize as of now. Although I'm not quite sure with the process though. I think it's something na kailangan natin malaman din. Kasi parang ako din personally, I don't see any article on how do we approach kung kailangan natin ng testing kit.
Kasi baka di oras na naman ito. Well, alam naman natin sa Pilipinas yung unfortunate situation of palakasan and who we know Baka na naman ang mangyari dito is it will all depend on sino naman ang kilala natin, sino yung malakas, sila mauuna, and paano naman yung sa totoo lang the people that are very prone to COVID-19 are the class C and D and below. Diba? Now, it doesn't mean if you're sabihin natin, if you have symptoms, paano ka nga kung asymptomatic ka nga Diba? So, I remember there was a test done some years ago. I don't even remember exactly. It was done in Australia. I don't exactly remember what was the virus or what the illness was. But it was mandated by law.
Yeah.
That if you do not take your test, you will be fined and you could serve X period of time in jail. Diba? Now, first question is, if we go through testing, ito yung dilemma natin. Ito yung siguro ang dilemma ng mahirap. Diba? Unti-unti gagawin mo. Hindi mo gagawin ng malawakan, mabilisan. So kung unti-unti, paano yung na-test na hindi na positive? Diba? And after X number of weeks, may contact siya sa taong positive.
Yeah.
Ulitin na naman niya. Diba?
Yeah.
So this is the last. This is where the poor unfortunately lose. And this is where we have to then face the situation. Na anong uunahin mo? Bayaran mo ang kuryente mo o bayaran mo ang tubig mo? Either way, you lose.
Totoo. Sorry about that, sir. May lumipad na moth
Pampaano yan? Pampatanggal daw ng COVID.
Grabe. Sir, I also think na it all depends din kasi whether or not the country or the place has the ability to parang mag-mass test ba ng sabay-sabay. Kasi, let's face it, the Philippines doesn't have the resources because of, well, not to parang bring back the spilt milk, but because of the, binawasan nga kasi talaga yung budget for the health sector for this year eh. So I guess so that's why we are not actually prepared for any like this, any outbreak or any pandemic.
Well, to be honest with you, nobody was. But again, if we want to solve this problem before it becomes a it's already a big problem. But I'm saying that it goes up to the point where it's uncontrollable, where people would literally have to go to even more drastic measures. Kasi itong matatanong ko sa iyo, Shane. Let's take an example. Prior to the COVID outbreak.
Yeah.
If let's say, for example, an individual, just a common individual meets what? How many people would we say we interact with and we meet on a busy day? It could be 50, 100, 200 individuals.
Yeah,
especially
more than
individuals
200.
na hindi naman natin kilala eh. Diba? Kasi let's say we go on a public transportation. How do we know the name of the person? How do we know the history of that individual and who that individual basically talks to? If let's say I am a COVID-19 patient and I don't know I'm COVID positive, and then I go out like as if nothing's wrong kasi asymptomatic ako eh. So ngayon, nasa labas ako, gumagala ako, I'm interacting with people, I cough here, I cough there, I spit here, I spit there. Kasi ganyan naman ang style ng minsan sumisinga pa tayo sa daan at kung ano-ano pa yun, kung saan natin papapahiran yung natin, di ba? Now that's how they say the class C, class D level, di ba? So, you're going around, you're spreading the virus and you don't even know who you're interacting with. You could be interacting literally with a total stranger that could be just behind you. As I said, COVID can spread up to 2 meters.
Yeah.
Airborne. So now, ano yung tracking system mo? Anong gagawin mo? Tanungin mo yung tao ngayon. O sino nakausap mo? Let's say, when you go out, let's say from house to work and from work back to house, would you be able to recall every single individual that you were able to interact with, especially the people you don't know? Exactly my point. So how can you stop now this pandemic? You cannot.
Unless you stay inside and unless there's something that can tell us na may contact din talaga tayo with someone.
Bingo, bingo.
Ba't ka natatawa, Attorney Bay?
Hindi, kasi yung guest natin hanggang ngayon hindi pa naman nakabalik. Baka mahina masyado ang internet connection niya. And so, sorry na. No?
Yun nga po.
Pero tama, ito, nandito tayo. We still have yung extended quarantine na to, no? Up to the end of this month.
Yeah.
Yung mahaba-haba pa yung bubunuin natin.
I-extend nila ulit.
Ako, personal opinion, no? Personal opinion. It might be extended but on a modified system. Aring dadami pa yung pwede nilang paggalawin pero pagka dumami itong may COVID na to, baka ma-extend ng ganun pa rin. Another 15 days.
Ganun. May mga tao kasi
nakita niyo ba yung nakita niyo yung doon sa Balintawak kung paano nangyari doon? Hindi yung doon sa palengke.
Hindi.
Parang wala namang may quarantine eh. Alam mo kung binago na nila ngayon. Tabi-tabi agawan pa kasi parang baka maunahan ka pag bibili ka doon sa talipapa eh. Grabe. Kasi hindi na secure eh. I don't know. Ayoko naman gawin topic natin ng LGU pero unlike doon sa mga ibang LGUs, yung palengke, pinalapit na nila sa mga tao. Ito,
Totoo.
bahala ka pumunta ng palengke.
Totoo, actually. Sir Bart? Yan na naman. Umalit na naman yung internet. Anyway, Tony, may papakita ko sa'yo. Kanina actually nakita ko din siya. It is this month's cover ng Vogue magazine there in Italy. So this is how it looks like. I opened it in a parang editor kasi white siya and then hindi siya makikita. Hindi makikita yung ano. So this is the magazine cover of Vogue Italia for April 2020.
Ano ba yan? May Victoria's Secret ba yan?
Hindi, as in white lang siya. As in walang laman. As in Vogue Italia lang nakalagay, April 2020.
Kasi it's because of what happened to Italy. Siguro it's
hindi
more
siya
of them.
Nakalagay dun sa sa description niya. It's not a random blank square. It is Vogue Italia's reaction to the corona crisis. Special edition nila featuring a totally white cover for the first time in 100 years of Vogue history. Ayon, Editor-in-Chief Emanuel Fornetti states, white is the color of the uniforms worn by those people who put their own lives in the line to save ours. It represents space and time to think as well as stay silent.
Well,
so
they want to make a statement.
Oo, to make a statement. White kasi daw
kasi
yun yung
papakita sila ng mga fashion. Tapos, yung wala namang panahon sa fashion, yung mga frontliners natin eh.
Totoo.
Maganda rin yan. It's a moral booster for the frontliners.
Totoo. Hi, Sir Mark.
Sorry. Yeah, I think we're going to have to change our broadcast schedules to an earlier timeline.
Yeah,
anyways, we did a couple of more minutes.
Very heavy siguro ngayon. Very heavy.
Yeah, very heavy. Kasi everyone's just, on their phones, on their laptops.
So I think we're going to have to then transfer our 7 p.m. 7 p.m. broadcast to to 2 p.m. siguro. Sa hapon na tayo mag-broadcast. Kasi sumasabay tayo sa US eh. Remember, pag tayo tulog, oras ng tulog natin, oras naman ng gising naman nila sa US. So kung isasabay natin ang traffic natin sa Pilipinas sa traffic din ng US, wala na tayo hindi natin alam kung saan tayo pupulutin. But as I was saying, before I got cut off a while ago, it may sound like a sarcastic or unnecessary joke at this time, but in a way, as most people know who I am, I speak pretty much frank and I usually speak the truth. Probably by the time people come up with a vaccine for the Philippines, immune na yung Pilipino sa sakit. Alam mo naman alam mo naman ng metabolism ng Pinoy eh. Pag yung mga dumarating dito sa Pilipinas, iinom sila ng tubig, abay, LBN na sila. Tayo, titigas pa rin ang tiyan natin. Hindi tayo natatablahan dito sa ganitong klaseng sakit. So, I'm sure our metabolism in time will be so immune. Kidding aside, so immune to COVID na yung COVID mismo mamamatay. Hindi dahil sa vaccine, kundi dahil sa ability natin adapt. But again, tama nga si Attorney Bayan, na may strains, may mga bagong strains lumalabas, which is the scary part. Kasi once your body starts to find a way to be immune against a virus, and the virus is fast enough to adapt to this kind of situation. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a scientist, don't get me wrong, but I've worked with a lot of scientists and I've worked with a lot of doctors, especially in the military field. One of the things that scared them the most is with viruses that have a tendency to drastically mutate at a very, very short period of time. And if COVID is capable of turning into a COVID-20, not a COVID-19, but a COVID-20 version, we're going to see a lot more people dying, for sure.
Wait, then that's the 9. I thought the number indicated kung kailan nag-start yung virus.
Yun nga. But if it mutates in 2020, which is already this year, baka lumabas ang COVID-20.
Oh, Lord.
Pwede.
Kaya nga, kailangan natin matuto. Kailangan natin, kung sabihin natin, one thing that unfortunately humans are not really that consistent in is the word responsibility.
Yeah.
And dahil nga minsan yung naiinip, ang tabi dito, dahil dun sa pagiging inip na, nakakalimutan na ano yung priority nila, anong responsibilidad nila, nagiging tactless na sila. Then to be honest with you, doing nothing at home, figuring out paano mo papakainin ng pamilya mo araw-araw na wala ka namang source of income, ang hirap nun, sobra. The country is not financially capable of handling this, and hindi naman sa babalato or hindi naman to warning or prediction, but out of pure logic, we know that this will become even worse. This is just the beginning. Actually, I don't even want to say this is just the beginning. This is just the start. Not the beginning per se. The beginning is still gonna come. It's just starting to become even worse. I know it sounds kind of crazy with the way how I'm saying it though, but those numbers, the 5,000 numbers that we're going to be going up to, trust me, before we know it, we'll probably be hitting 200 to 300,000 patients.
Yeah.
In a very short period of time.
I was also wondering, sir, what about yung how I wonder kung paano yung mga educational systems would also handle this COVID in the next school year if ever nga na whole year tayo for 2020 na still battling with COVID-19.
Press has to find a freaking good topic para masapawan ng COVID, as they always do. You know, kudos to the press. Ang galing ninyo. Magagaling kayo magtago ng katotohanan. Sobra. This goes out to all those major press lines. You're gonna look for a very good topic. They're gonna look for a very good topic para masapawan ng COVID-19. And then, slowly, mawawala yun. And again, as I said, COVID-19 will become a myth to a lot of people. And when people get sick, nagkaroon ng COVID yun. It's like, it's just gonna turn into like the common flu. And nagkasakit lang yung tao. So, ngayon, mawawala na yung balita niyan. But they just don't understand. You know, there are so many press releases. I don't know if we have actually played any of these sample cases on hashtag. But if we were to observe how difficult a person or what difficulty a person goes through when trying to recover from COVID-19, it's a totally different story, especially if you have already known sicknesses sa baga.
Yeah,
you know, I'm scared personally. I'm scared of going out on a regular basis because I'm a smoker. I smoke. Okay? And how many other Filipinos smoke?
Probably
Now, hindi lang natin ilagay din yung situation of smoking. Ilan ng mga tao nagkakaroon ng pneumonia?
Pneumonia.
Okay? Kasi we live in you don't have to be a smoker to get pneumonia. Okay? So, people that work, nalalamigan na likod nila, napapawisan, nagkakaroon sila ng pneumonia, they're very prone. Now, if you already have a history, and again, in the Philippines, medyo marami din ang mga tuberculosis, yung mga tuberculoma patients. A lot of people, you know, on average, people suffer from primary complex, which means humihina na naman ang baga mo. So now, if you have a history of primary complex, you have a history of any lung disease, your chances of recovery are lower than a physically fit individual. And you could possibly die. Let's face it, you could die. So now if you're a COVID patient and you're going around and spreading your disease or spreading the COVID disease, okay, with SARS, which is a virus per se, then you're doing a crime. You're killing people. You're even doing much, much more worse than what a drug addict is doing.
Yeah. So this is getting scary. Especially, yeah, that's true. Kasi especially if you're asymptomatic nga and then you just go around prancing like, I don't know, it's Tinseltown.
Yes. Now, look at it in a more realistic fashion. When you go out wearing a mask, there are circumstances na minsan nabababa mo yung mask eh. I noticed that with myself. And I'm when it comes to discipline, I'm very, very strict when it comes to that particular side. You have a tendency minsan na ibababa mo yung mask mo. Let's say, for example, medyo may parte ng mukha mo, medyo nangangat eh. Diba? And sometimes, in some cases too, may mga tao na masyadong maarte, hahatching sila, tatanggalin nila yung mask nila. Diba? Or uubos sila, tatanggalin nila yung mask nila. So, kasi ayaw nila, pag umubos sila, diba? Ayaw nila matira yung ubo dun sa mask nila, diba? So they're gonna take off their mask, they're gonna cough, and then what happens?
They can
So
infect
come on,
people
you know.
with droplets.
So let's face the truth. If we do not come up with a fast enough solution within the next couple of weeks, this will be even worse than what we have right now. Because a lot of people, you see, this is going to be the repercussion. I don't know, Fred, if you're going to agree with me on this one. But imagine the situation katulad ng sinabi nga niya katulad na napag-usapan kanina. Pag natapos na yung lockdown, lahat ng mga tao kating-kati na lumabas. They're gonna be like, yes, we're free. Parang nakalabas ka na sa kural mo, nakalabas ka sa kulungan. Imagine now you know how it feels to be under house arrest. Month and a half house arrest. Okay? Now imagine the situation when all these people are not going out.
Yeah.
And they're asymptomatic.
Sabay-sabay.
So if we see something bad now, we're gonna see something even worse.
Correct.
Sir, di ba, it normally takes 14 days for people to inhibit symptoms of COVID-19, right?
Well, that's from what they say now.
Okay, so yan muna. So what, di ba, ibig sabihin, kung ikaw asymptomatic, hindi ibig sabihin na everyone in that household asymptomatic. Possibly yung iba makakapag-inhibit ng symptoms,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Very, very possible.
Okay, so yung for example, 1 month and a half na yung how do I say this, yung quarantine. All right. So meaning dapat kahit ikaw asymptomatic, there are the other people inside your house possible na makakahawa agad and then ma-detect agad.
Yeah.
Within that span. So
Yeah.
So at least ma-detect agad during this quarantine.
Well, you see, this is a thing which the government should take really seriously. Once they lift the mandatory, the home quarantine, kasi it's a domino effect. Do you want to spend more money, which the country does not have? Plus, the country is poor as it is right now. So, during this quarantine period, dapat todo, lahat ng effort nila is basically put into testing. Testing the whole family. If necessary. Diba? So, during the testing period, at least confine pa sila para ma-identify mo yung root cause. But the question is, does the country have enough test kits, enough tools, enough facilities to perform a nationwide COVID test? Now remember, let's base it back on the facts of January, February, when there was one victim in Cebu. One victim lang based dun sa dun sa statistics nila na confirmed COVID patient, di ba? O bakit ngayon nasa magli-5,000 na? And that's 5,000 people. One patient, months later you have 5,000 people. What's going to happen within the next 6 months? You see, this is something that our politicians do not understand, people from the DOH and from from the press try to mitigate the panic. But let's face facts. What we have right now is something very serious, and if we don't really unite to fix this problem, as you correctly observed, people now are going out, naatat na sila eh. Wala mangyayari sa ating bansa. We'll go back to square one, and it'll even get worse. So it's like you put your foot one step forward.
Yeah.
Once all of this is there, and everybody's now happy in a sense because they're not clamoring, tanggalin mo na tong ano na to, tanggalin mo na tong problema natin na to, na meron lockdown, you're going to be going not 2 steps backward. You're going to be going 100 steps backward because you're going to have a lot more people infected with COVID and a lot more people dying. And this is where the press are going to doctor the numbers for sure.
Don't they have parang a moral responsibility to report the truth?
What moral responsibility do you, Shane, let's face it, what moral responsibility do you have when you're being paid a lot more money? We know how the press works. We know basically how news works. It's all about the money. You see, this is where there's a difference between integrity and money. Anong uunahin natin dito? Some people have that, how do I say, due responsibility and integrity first before money.
Mm.
But imagine a situation post-COVID. Business owners will care more about the money than integrity per se.
Yeah.
Because kailangan nilang bumawi. So in that kind of situation, you're literally going to be prioritizing what you need first over anything that has integrity. And that's unfortunately the circumstance that we have.
Unfortunately. Sometimes I try to keep my idealism, Kasi I still believe that there are good people out there. I still believe na the people who promise to do this or to do good is out there trying to fight then for, how do I say this? For yung values nila, for kung ano din talaga yung promise nila to the masses na gagawin nila. Pero sometimes here in the Philippines, it's kind of, alam mo yun, sir, I don't want to lose hope. Pero it's a little bit, medyo natetip yung boat ko.
There's a saying that they used to have from how to say, from working in military and working as a civilian. With civilians, you always have to put the icing, so you don't scare them. You have to deliver your speech. You have to deliver your talk gracefully. Okay. Whereas with with military personnel, you deliver it bluntly. Okay, so there's one way of saying it nice, there's one way of commanding it, which is for a lot of people impolite.
Yeah.
And when it comes to talking about facts, like we have already talked about COVID being airborne.
Yeah.
It took the press a month and a half, or a month, about a month, before they actually came up with that news.
No, actually, sir, what happened before is that nirelease yung news na it is airborne, and then parang mga companies rejected that idea, and then biglaan may lumabas na naman na research na it is actually airborne. So I don't really know why they're trying to hide it. They're trying to lessen the panic ba, or
well, what's our global hit number right now for COVID?
global hit number. All right, let us check the TechEd website.
Are we talking about 1 million now? Above 1 million?
1 million? I don't think so yet, sir.
Globally, okay.
Yeah, globally. Let's see. Oh, we did hit 1 million. It's nearly 2 million now.
It's almost going to 2 million. Okay, so, and look at the statistics there. How many recovered and how many died?
Almost 500,000 recovered, pero
Right.
115,278 died.
Okay, so
Which
which
is
is
still
basically about 20, which is about 25,000, right? Sorry, 25,000, 25% fatality.
Oo. That's a big
Yeah,
number.
so,
From
okay,
originally na from 1 month ago, like the what yung sinasabi lang nila is like 8% to 12% mortality rate. What happened to this?
well, you see, this is where people, unfortunately, if you don't mind me say, this is where there's a difference between civilians that are following news and other individuals that don't just follow mainstream news, that try to get facts from reliable sources.
Yeah.
And when we were talking about a 1 to 2%, actually it wasn't even 8%. We were talking about 1 to 2% fatality. Now, if we were to look at those that are based on the numbers that we see to the numbers that died, you see that it's only like what 1%, 2%. Okay, or in this case here, it would be about 10, more than about 10. Sorry, about 5%. I would say 5%. Beg your pardon. Now, this has risen from 1% now to 5%. But again, as I keep on stating, those individuals that are marked at almost 2 million, okay, have not recovered. Wait for this number now. From that recovery, wait from the numbers that are infected turn 0, and those numbers now go either to recovery or death. But before we get to that, one thing that I would like to, to expand on, from a pharmaceutical perspective, and this is basically for the pharmaceutics business industry, which is even worse than drug dealing. Is 2 million basically a number that's profitable? That's not. Look at the numbers that basically hit when you had the Spanish flu come out about 100 years ago. What were the numbers then? We're talking about what, 100 million, 50 million? So 2 million is nothing. That's not profit. Remember, these pharmaceutical companies, to be able to come up with a antidote, or what we would say as an antivirus, okay, to fix this disease, they spend a lot of money. They spend millions, hundreds of millions of dollars. So my question to you here is, if let's say you, Shane, spend $200 million to find a cure, and your return of investment is only $50 million, is it profit or not?
No.
So why are you then going to be coming up with a solution at that particular level?
I feel like, do you know the episode of The Simpsons where they were talking about why do people, kung alam naman pala ng mga tao yung parang may cure, kung may cure naman talaga sa cancer, like one pill that could cure cancer, bakit hindi ginagawa ng government or bakit hindi ginagawa ng mga pharmaceutical companies? Their answer to that question was that it's because walang profit nga. It's because, do you want na madaming gamot for a long period of time, or do you want the one instant na medyo hindi gaano ka profitable? So of course, the pharmaceutical companies, would choose.
That's exactly the point. And from a business perspective, I don't want to sound bad or the words, but let's as a businessman, I would prefer that a person suffer from an illness for the rest of his life and buy from me medication. Than me providing him a one-time cure, because I want him to keep coming back. You see, that's profit. You see, the person who gets sick becomes now a customer And you don't want your customers not to come back. It's the same thing like in any business. Like in a business that we run in trainings, we want our customers to keep coming back. In consultancy, we want our customers to keep coming back. As a restaurateur, you want your customers to come back, so you don't want to serve them bad food. So from the perspective of a pharmaceutical organization, they're going to spend a lot of money because there's a demand. But the question is, how much is the demand right now? Almost 2 million. That's a small number compared to 6 billion, 7 billion with a global population right now. That's not enough. If you're talking about, let's say, 10% or 5%, what's 5% of 5 billion, for instance? 250 million people, yes? Now, at 5%, that would be good business. So, you see, this is where you have to look at ratios, numbers, and business. The world is run by businessmen. And given the fact that the world is run by businessmen, politicians are owned by businessmen. That's pretty much how a lot of debate has been over organizations that they sometimes call urban legends, such as the New World Order and all these other things. These are what do you call that? These are facts when we talk about a nation, the world being owned by businessmen. And the businessmen there basically are the ones that make politicians. And of course, if you have a business, then let's look at it in the right perspective. What would generate the most amount of revenue for you anyways?
Yeah.
Sometimes we even ask the question, why is Bill Gates spending so much amount of his charity or his work and investments in the pharmaceutical industry right now? It's big business. If I were to invest right now, I would invest a lot of money in pharmaceutics. Their stocks are going to go up.
Yeah, that's true.
If you have, let's say, 100,000 pesos, man, I tell you, invested in right pharmaceutical companies, especially the pharmaceutical companies that at this stage in time are, are focused on the research on COVID. They will generate a huge amount of return. That's almost like cryptocurrency overnight.
Cryptocurrency.
About 2-3 years ago.
It actually meron pa rin po bang gumagamit ng cryptocurrency until ngayon?
That's a whole new story. Yeah, I'm sure there are.
We have here a comment, sir, pero medyo mahaba-haba yung comment ni Ma'am Tere. I would just read it na lang from our Facebook comment. So she said, a couple of months from now, as businesses take serious hit from COVID-19, we expect more layoffs and retrenchment. It was mentioned earlier that telecommuting or work from home is one way to address this. This sounds good to me, even for a long-term solution to other concerns that our country is currently facing right now. As Sir Mark said, we can expect reduction of vehicles on the road, and this also allows us to cut on our expenses in terms of transportation fees, food, and other regular expenses like fuel. More so, it allows us to be more productive over time as we can perform tasks. Ayun. So I think it's true naman yung comment ni Ma'am Teresa, di ba? Kasi parang kapag there are businesses nga talagang who are seriously hit by COVID-19, I'm pretty sure na they would also resort to people still working but working from home.
I beg to, I'd have to disagree on certain grounds on that particular side. Based on my current, feedback coming from clients and coming from other organizations, they don't seem to be that enticed with regards to having the option of possibly working from home. This has been a deliberation even before COVID. You see, a lot of organizations, unfortunately, don't follow what they preach. Let's take the classic example of BPOs in the Philippines. Now, BPOs prosper on the concept of work from home, where a company offshore hires services, and those services are done from a more cost-effective country like India and the Philippines, because we are, in all true honesty, cheap labor. Unfortunately for China, they haven't been that, how do you say, they haven't progressed in that area. It's because of the language barrier. But the moment they start picking up English, the moment they start speaking as fluent as an Indian would speak and as a Filipino would speak English, I'm sure they'll be able to capture the market like that very fast. Now, because of the cost, of course, of the labor, as I was saying. But look at it in this particular perspective. So a country outsources your services, and you, in that country, you could actually readapt it in your business model and have people work from home. So you as an individual, you could already be like a call center working at home without the necessity of going into the office. So it's like a BPO, a client getting a BPO, and that BPO also has its own employees that are working from a different location, not necessarily from the office location. But you see, it all breaks down to contracts between the client and the BPO. You see, the speed that you have that these BPOs invest in for their infrastructure are a lot. So then the speed of connectivity, like what we're experiencing right now, you know, we in some cases we have fast connectivity, in some cases we have slow connectivity. For a BPO's perspective, you cannot have slow and fast. It has to be always fast. So they invest a lot of money in high-speed connectivity. Otherwise, they get penalized. When they get penalized, they have to pay a lot of penalties to their client. Meaning to say, they have to then provide free services. They have to do certain things para lang ma-maintain lang yung ano nila, yung setup nila. So if you were to work from home, would you spend a lot of money on your internet connectivity?
Yeah, definitely. If ganun yung cases, di ba? I would definitely spend a lot for connectivity kapag I have even kung kailangan ko din palang magbayad kapag may penalty ako. Anyway, sir, I don't think Sir Rafi can reconnect na. I think, ito po.
I don't think so, sir.
Ayun, may nag-message po si Sir Rafi. Sabi niya, ayun, last message from Sir Rafi Chico, guys. Just bear with the COVID, stay safe, fit and healthy, stay at home, and let us flatten the curve. God bless us all. Ayun, so very, very true, guys. Kailangan po natin mag-stay home and stay fit and healthy because this COVID-19, we're definitely not sure when this will end. Hopefully soon. And then it also affects the most vulnerable sector, which are the elders, the children, as well as those people who have previous medical issues with it in terms of respiratory. Ayun. And as well as Sir Mark, definitely we need your app to hit the market na, 'di ba? Kasi your app as the app that you are developing, as you said, it also helps us know kung sino-sino yung mga salamuha natin ng mga tao, whether or not they are COVID positive. Sir Mark, why are you laughing?
No, I'm laughing because you're laughing as well. Because at least I don't feel like I'm the only one here that has a hard time speaking Tagalog.
I'm so sorry. Okay, so sobrang konyo ko daw, guys. So comment na lang kayo dyan kung konyo ba talaga ako. Joke lang po yun. Huwag niyo pong sasabihin na konyo po. Kasi alam ko na po talaga sa heart ko na konyo po ako. Ayun, Sir Mark. It has been a productive night.
Yeah, it has been. Siguro, ano, as I always do what we do on our talks and the works, I'd like to share na lang siguro well, it's not going to be a quote though, but an advice to everybody. If we already sacrifice this much, let's not waste the sacrifice of others and put it
Yeah.
in vain. Kasi sa totoo lang, hindi lang naman isang tao ang naapektuhan dito. Lahat naapektuhan. We don't even know if you have a business after this, after COVID. We don't know where we're going to be. Nobody knows. A lot of businesses may close down. A lot of businesses may try. The government already has a hard time trying to survive as itself. We can't expect the government to give us financial sustainability. So it's a very hard situation we're facing right now. And sa mga pasaway dyan, sana naman, wag niyo tuloy-tuloy naman maging pasaway.
Totoo.
Para naman hindi sayang pinaghirapan natin. Kasi lahat tayo apektado dito.
Totoo.
Hindi lang naman isang tao, hindi lang naman isang barangay, hindi lang naman isang syudad eh. Ang buong bayan apektado dito. Kaya pakinalang. Hindi ito basta-bastang virus. Kung matigas ang ulo, manatili lang kayo sa bahay. Pag kaaway ninyo ang asawa ninyo, pumunta kayo sa kapitbahay nyo. Doon lang kayo tumira. O magpakulong na lang kayo.
Sa CR na lang po, kung pwede. Grabe naman yung
Hindi,
mga
magpakulong na lang sila doon sa presinto.
Anyway, Sir Mark, thank you so much for co-hosting with me. Yung mga kaibigan po natin na si Tatay Rene tsaka si Atty. Bayan. So hopefully na makasama din ulit natin sa next few video cast. So thank you again, Sir Mark, for co-hosting with me tonight.
Thank you.
Sige, bye sir. See you po next time. Ayun guys, a lot of things happened tonight. Pero let me just give you a rundown of what Sir Rafi told us, diba? Na in order for us as Filipinos to help rebuild the economy here in the Philippines, we have to invest definitely in local tourism. Kasi it's true. Kasi yung tourism is one of the biggest parts na pwede tayong mag-invest in here in the Philippines. Kasi definitely, ang dami nating mga hidden gems here in the Philippines, ang dami nating mga tourist destinations, di ba? So why not just explore locally din, di ba? Kasi I'm pretty sure na a lot of us still haven't gone to the different mga tourist destinations here in the Philippines as well. So, ayun nga, ika nga ni Sir Rafi kanina, na best na how do you say this in Tagalog? You promote as well kung anong meron tayo here in the Philippines, di ba? As well as, definitely, hopefully, then yung mga people in the tourist industry or yung mga gumagawa ng package, sana may kababayan package yun talaga sila in order for our Filipino kapamilyas, di ba? Na maengganyo din po na mag-travel here locally. Ayun. So hopefully you guys had fun or had a lot of insights in tonight's episode. Medyo napahaba talaga yung episode kasi napakadaldal talaga ni Sir Mark. Nako, charot. Joke lang po yun. I'm pretty sure. Kasi napaka-heavy din po yung mga lessons that we can learn from Sir Mark, diba? Definitely with Tatay Rene and Atty. Bayan and all of our guests here on #TV. So guys, parting message, I do hope that everyone would work together to flatten this curve. Definitely just stay home kapag kailangan lang lumabas, doon lang po lalabas, and hopefully isang person lang lumabas. Kasi whether or not na simple flu lang yan, lagnat lang yan, we cannot risk it na talaga. 'Di ba? Kasi we are definitely not prepared for this pandemic at all. So hopefully, guys, please stay safe and please stay inside. So ayun lang guys, bye-bye po.